What's going on, world? It's your man, Mr. Mech, here with allhiphop.com. I'd like to welcome you to the Mechanism. I'd also like to welcome a first-time visitor to the
Yes,
couch.
yes, yes.
Uh, she's out of Philly, and she's directly into your living rooms
Yes.
via Sisterhood of Hip Hop, premiering. It'll be out by the time they see this interview.
Yeah.
State your name one time for the camera,
It's your
please.
girlie Mazin 215. Philly is in the building. Sisterhood of Hip Hop out now. Vibes out now. I just dropped a new project.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
How come I don't have that?
I don't know.
Disrespectful. Sit on
We
that
gotta,
couch. Don't give me
we
no
gotta make
music.
sure you get that.
This
I'm sorry.
no
I'm sorry.
music, no cheesesteaks.
Look, you
Just-
gotta come. I can't bring a cheesesteak from Philly.
You absolutely can. You're Lee Mazin.
No, by the time it get here, it's not gonna be the right type of setup. None of that.
Now the
Can't do
sandwich
that.
got to get a setup. See, this is what we deal with when it comes to Philadelphia. Which let's jump right into that. You come from a city
Yeah.
with a long-standing tradition of sharp MCs
Yes.
who influenced the game from top to bottom, from Will Smith being one of the first
Yes.
to like really put it down as far as the genre is concerned, to all the way up to Beanie Siegel,
Yes.
to you just got a great track record. Does that equal out to pressure for you, knowing that all these people, you come from this kind of lineage?
I wouldn't say pressure. I just take the whole culture, and not from only being from Philly, but just a hip hop artist in general. And then being from Philly, we known for flows, bars, battle raps, freestyles, all of that type of stuff. So I just embraced the culture, and I grew up listening to the battle rap scene, the State Props, the Eves, the Will Smiths, all of that. So I just took it all in, and it kind of groomed me as an artist, and it actually started my career. So I just take it all in. I don't look at it like pressure. I just actually look at it like, Philly, we kind of got a legacy. We known for a specific thing. So I want you to know that I'm from Philly, but I also want you to know that that's not where I stop at. And it's not just freestyling, or it's not just bars, or it's not just flows with me. Like I can actually make music as well, like real live radio hits and songs as well.
Try to keep the mic close.
Okay.
Do you dabble into the battle rap? That's something that's
I've actually never did the battle rap scene. I've did the ciphers, the DVDs, the things like that, but I have never went like face to face with no other female.
they had like a whole Queen of the Ring. There's like a whole
Yeah.
league over there for you guys to like.
Yeah. Well, I
you
mean,
could-
y'all actually hold that title here in New York.
yeah, I know.
But we did a lot of rap battling maybe a few years ago, but it was predominantly the guys. It wasn't too many females that you would see doing rap battles that often. But yeah, that's something that I never really got into. I love watching it, but I've never
Okay.
participated.
I'm glad you're getting out here and like really doing your thing. You've landed this show and like the music is flowing now, because there was a minute where it was kind of terrible being from Philly between the
Yes.
Sixers and me taking a loss and Bill Cosby. Like you guys couldn't you couldn't buy a win
Yeah.
out there in Philly. You guys were like really.
And now it's like it's a whole sluice of new talent coming from the city that I come from. So I think that's pretty dope.
Is it difficult to get the attention of people, like when you tell them that you're from Philly and not a place like New York or Los Angeles? Is that a stigma?
Sometimes, and it's often like we kind of got a not so good reputation for many different things like longevity or being persistent enough. And I feel like we birth some of the most talented people in the world, especially musically. But we kind of got like, I don't want to say a bad rep, but I think we need to clean it up a whole lot, because if we put our mind to it and we bring the talent that we have coming from our city, we could be a huge music market, entertainment market, period. We just have to do things the right way. So I get those certain meetings, or when I meet certain people, it'll be like, "You from Philly?"
Yeah, because
And,
you
and
don't
some
have
people
like
come right out and be like, "You from Philly? That mean you know how to spit? You talented as hell. I know you know how to rap, but I don't know about your business side of things." And that's kind of like, damn, like we gotta get rid of this stereotype.
So are you active on the business end to try and counter that
Oh,
perception?
most definitely. I take from everybody that I've been around, and I've been around a lot of legends in the entertainment field, A&Rs, producers, artists, activists, everything. And I take from all of them to learn as much as I can, business-wise, musically, entertainment, as humans, as a female, everything. Like I take I learn from everything that I'm around.
So what's something that you know now that, say, this time last year you would have never had a clue about? What's one of the lessons that got dropped on you that you're noticing now that you're at this stage?
I would definitely say the business side of things is kind of more important than, I'm not going to say the talent, because the talent is kind of what got me here. But you also have to be, as fluent as I am with my music, I had to learn the business side of things also, as far as everything, royalties, management, who you're around, how you handle things, and then also learning to tap into other markets. Like, is good to be fluent in everything, not just music. And I feel like, as creative as I am, I can do acting, I can do modeling, I have clothing lines that's about to launch, I give back to my community. Like, it's so good to be diverse in a lot of different ways, and not just bury yourself in music. Like, that's the start of me, that's what birthed me, that's home, that's where my heart is. But I'm also talented in many different areas, and I want to showcase all of that. So I feel like what I've learned the most from last year to this year is really like, get your business straight. And once I got that through my head, it was like, okay, let's do this the right way. And I read up on things, I ordered books. Me and my manager, we sat and like Googled a bunch of things. We learned from a lot of people that was around us, like especially a lot of females that kind of took me in, like MC Light. She spit a whole lot of knowledge to me. Trina, Remy, and they just give it to you real. Like, they'll tell you how they was kind of blind to certain situations when they first got in the game, and how they had to learn on their own. So to hear from them, they give me like a heads up, like, make sure this is situated before you do this. It's like, it's a blessing, because that's something I could have walked into blindfolded. So I'm just appreciative to all the females that, paved the way for me, that reach back, that actually give a hand to, us new ladies coming up.
There was a couple of people that you just mentioned were at the honors, the hip hop honors last night.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, did you get a chance to see it?
Yes.
Were you there?
No, I actually was doing press all day yesterday, even basically to almost the time that the hip hop honors was over.
But you got a chance to see it. What you think?
I actually loved it. I feel like we needed that. We needed that. And
we as in who?
Just hip hop altogether. Not even just the females. Us as hip hop, just to honor those females. And we get looked at like the underdogs for many different reasons, but it's always like, oh, you dope to be a female artist, or you dope to be a female rapper. So for them to honor Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, Missy, Lil Kim, and then the people that they had honoring them and performing for them, like Trina, Remy, Dej Loaf, like, just to bring females together, it was just like, wow, like, this is not often that you see something like that. So I feel like any artist period should have been tuned into that show, whether they were there or they was watching it. It was like legendary, basically.
And speaking of legendary and performers at that spot, and Lil Kim's legendary self got up there and had a performer, and it all went haywire. Your boy Rich Homie Quan completely dropped the ball on those Biggie lyrics. Thoughts? I need reactions. Tell me something. What were you thinking when you saw that?
Honestly, and I don't usually comment on stuff like this, but it was like, how is that even possible? Why was that even possible? Why was that shit? I wish it wasn't live. Like, I wish that they would have pre-recorded the show and they was able to cut that out, because I just feel like that was like embarrassing to hip hop. For that to be a song of that stature, like, that's a legendary song. For one, is one of the most noted and respected artists of all times on that record. It's his record, and then you up there with Kim. Diddy's in the building, so you got the whole bad boy in there, the whole hip hop culture watching, and a verse that you probably was singing or rapping since I was like, I think I was like 4 or 5, maybe 3 when that came out, and I know the words. It's like, how do you not know that? Didn't y'all rehearse this? Is this, everybody was so confused. Like, was it a rehearsal? Did you just say you knew the words? It was kind of like, damn, like, what has hip hop come to?
It's kind of a deep thought. Something you discuss a lot, like, from your age bracket and from a lady's perspective. Those are two very unique perspectives in hip hop when it comes to a legacy act like Biggie and Lil Kim. Like those are very fresh eyes to look at
Yeah.
it. Do you often look around at your genre? I mean, at your age range and think, "Damn, what are we doing? What does this
Yes,
come to?"
often.
Because you mostly hear that from the OGs and not so much from the younger crowd.
Often, because it's not as much substance as it once was. It's not no content. It doesn't really have a feeling. It doesn't have meaning anymore. It's like you come up with a simple hook that is repetitive that people can remember, and you got a hit. Your verses don't even matter. Where back then it was like the lyrics still matter, the content still matter, what the song was about still matter, remixes still matter. If you were able to go on a radio show and spit, still matter. And we even back then it was certain artists that everybody knew didn't come up lyrically or didn't know how to spit, but you knew those, so you wouldn't put those artists on the spot, but you knew like, oh, such and such coming up here, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get some bars from him because that's how he came up or that's how she came up. And it's like now a lot of these artists they really don't know the real essence of hip hop. How I used to sit on the corner and beatbox and no instruments, no nothing, just something come or just spit a cappella and just spit bars and have fun. Where even if you messed up, you kept going because it was just fun. It was creative. It was art. And it's like now it's kind of like, oh, he made a hit record and he can't really rap. I can't rap either, but I'm just gonna figure out something easy to say, go with the flow, make a hit record, and then hopefully I can make another one after that. But then you get a bunch of one-hit wonders, honestly. Or you get somebody who make maybe 2 successful records. You hear these records on the radio, you know every word to these records, but you don't even know who sang it or rap it. You're like, oh, that's such and such. And you're like, I never even heard of him or her. Who is that?
Right.
But you know the song. I don't want to be that type of artist. I don't want to be the type of artist where everybody know my music, but they can't put the music to the brand or to the face. And I feel like it's so much of that going on now.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate for a second. It could be said that at least these guys are making money and at least they're getting paid. And
I knock nobody hustle. They doing their thing. I salute anybody that's grinding and putting the work in. But just the culture itself, I feel like the more it gravitates to this, I feel like it's just taken away from the essence of hip hop. And, different cultures are tapping into our world and there's nothing wrong with it, but sooner or later they gonna take this whole thing over. And we can't let that happen. We gotta really stand together. And I feel like the talented people sometimes get pushed to the back for the people who just, oh, let me just think of something real quick. Get somebody who moving got a couple dollars, put that behind me, and I got a single, and that single, I'm going to blow. But it's nothing against them. I just feel like let's bring some fun back to it. Let's bring some talent. Let's put some talent into it. Even the people who didn't grow up writing raps or really know how to be lyrical, like, let's see if you could put your pen to some paper and come up with a 16-bar verse to spit when you go do these interviews. So it's fun again, and you be excited to watch these interviews, like, But I feel like we have to do that together.
Do you? I know you said you don't knock anybody's hustle.
Not at all.
But is there any part of you that just looks and might hear a song like, God, this is whack. This is a terrible song.
Often.
Really? Good for you.
But then sometimes it's that same song that I might be like, it's whack. I'm in a club, and the thing that hip hop has come to now, it makes you move. So it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Like it's not the hottest record in the world, but it make you move, and it got the now sound. And I feel like that's what everybody kind of go with. Like, oh, this sound like now. This is what's out now. And it's not a bad thing because, hip hop, everything evolves. Everything changes. So hip hop changed. Hip hop is on a different level now. So even the older artists, they trying to figure out how to fit in somewhere. So it's like, let me capture this sound a little bit. Maybe put a little twist to it. Put some old school to it a little bit. And let's see what happens. So.
Is that your motto? Where do you stand? Because you're firmly entrenched. If you started making a new sound, nobody would say anything. It's right in your age bracket. It's right in your wheelhouse. But you speak with a lot of knowledge of older sensibilities and morals and standpoints and integrity when it comes to the music. And you seem to be in that vein. So how do you balance that out?
I just stay true to me, and like I said, even I know what's going on now, but I also know what separates me from a lot of different artists. And I'm from Philly. Like, Philly and New York, I feel like we are like the two cities that's lyrically blessed. Like, we thrive off of sitting in somebody's face and watching a rap battle that like intrigues us, or freestyling over somebody else's beat, or going a cappella, or going for minutes long just rapping. You got a story to tell. You can see the emotion coming out. Like, I grew up in that era. I grew up watching those DVDs when Reed and Meek was battling, or watching, like you said, the ladies go neck to neck, and it was interesting because they actually had a story to tell. They had something to say. So I thrive off of lyrics. I like lyrical rappers. Like, I'm Kiss, one of my favorite rappers. Andre 3000. I like J. Cole. I like Kendrick. So I don't know. It's just kind of different coming from where I come from, and the artist that I, was groomed to be coming out of Philly. It's like I kind of missed that part of hip hop. So I long to see the BT hip hop ciphers, like stuff like that. So the music now, is nothing wrong with it because I feel like everything changes, but it's like, I feel like sometimes those people who really got the talent to rap, that I feel like were born to put words together in a rhyming pattern, sometimes get overshadowed by bullshit.
And we don't plan on having that happen to you.
No.
You don't plan on allowing that to happen.
I know how to take what's going on now, tie that in as well, because the youth is our biggest fans. And the youth goes with what's going on now. So you got to take advantage of that. But at the same time, I know how to make it in a creative way where it's still true to me. It's still true to my sound, but I know how to tie in what's going on now, and at the same time bring some of that old feeling back, all in, one bunch.
All right. Well, we're going to be checking for that one. What's the project? I'm hoping the One Bunch can be found on this project.
Definitely. It's called Vibes by Lee Mazin. It's everywhere. iTunes is for purchase. It's also for download. It's on my mixtapes. I got a real good bond with them, so I let them release it exclusively. But it's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, everything. So it's all over the internet. You can find it anywhere. 13 tracks, no features. My first project with absolutely no features. And the production is like phenomenal on it. So
give me something we would know about you after listening to the album that we might not know if we didn't.
It just gives you a vibe, and I can actually say this is like my first project that I actually put together, and it actually has a feel to it. I'm a real versatile artist. I like to talk about what's going on, what we go through as females, as artists, as African Americans, as humans. So I do a lot of storytelling. I do a lot of motivational type of records. I could take you to the club. And I feel like all of my previous projects, I kind of was like all over the place with it. Like, I'll have this type of track, then this type of track, then this type of track. And there's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like this project actually gives you a vibe. And of course, every record is different, and every record has different content and is on a different subject. But the feeling from it is just like, you can actually see that I took my time with this one. So, I feel like you can see the growth. You can see the real growth from the little girl who started off 19, 20 going into this, and then, how I am now. Like, you can see me grooming as an artist.
And how much of that comes across on the show? Because I know a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of reality stars say things like, well, they only showed this, and I was trying not to show that, and I didn't want this in. Like, how open are you when it comes to the camera? How much of yourself do we get to see on camera?
I actually gave, like, the real me. I was telling what was going on at the time, what I was going through personally, musically, the things me and my manager were battling, me and my team. I was going through a phase where I was doing a lot of melodic, singy type of records, and I wanted to bring out the more R&B side of me. And my team was like, yo, it's not time for that yet. So you see the battles with me struggling with them to try to understand my creative side, and them saying, that's kind of not now. So me being open to their opinions. Then you see the studio battles and me trying to get in with the right producer, trying to find the right sound. It's like I just give you the real me. So you really get to tap into how I got here right now and the things I'm doing to go further. So I was like 100% me on the show.
Any personal stuff come flying out? I know some people will try and keep their relationships off camera. Other people don't mind that.
I mean, like,
some people don't want their family on camera. Some people don't mind that.
You gotta watch the show to see.
Oh, disrespectful. Disrespectful. I blame
Philadelphia. I definitely has some personal things in it. I mean, it wouldn't be reality TV. We all have personal lives. So it's definitely some personal issues in there. The positives, the good, the bad, the ugly, the tears, the sweat, the smiles, everything. Like, you get to see all of that.